Hi, everyone. My name is Cordell, and Deep Throat is the wildest name for an informant.
My name is Sammi, and what flavor crystal are you?
My name is Caleb, and it's business in the front and party in the back.
Welcome to Junk House.
It's a psycho belly freak out.
Yeah.
Bring us in, Cordell.
Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. It's Junk House. You heard the intro. It's the house where the junk is. You know, junky times for all our junky friends.
Okay,
Come in,
stop.
take a needle.
Stop. Listeners, we sat here for a solid 15 seconds waiting for Cordell to bring us in because we usually, whoever ends the intro brings us in. It's kind of how the show is built.
Yeah, we're keeping that in because that was hilarious. Cordell
was hysterical.
I was just vibing with y'all. I like doing this.
Me too. This is fun.
No, this is it's a fun show. And also, Sammi, sometime we have to just leave the theme song as us actually just singing the parts of Psychobilly Freak Out we can all think of.
Because every time after someone's like, welcome to Junk House, we all go, it's a Psychobilly Freak Out.
Wait, that's a different song. But yeah, welcome. My
Welcome.
voice cracked really bad.
Welcome to week 2 of Pride Month.
Week 2, number
It's
2.
week 2. It's week 2.
We're so prideful. We love the gays.
It's the second week of being proud to be yourself, no matter what you are.
Shout out flags. Rainbow
Shout out
flags.
to all the flags. There are so many flags.
Lots of flags.
There's a lot of flags. How do you feel about the progress flag?
I gotta Google it.
I'm Googling the progress flag. And
I like it. I know we've talked to Miranda before, and they are not the biggest fan of it.
we need to have Miranda on the show sometime.
We do.
So I think the progress flag, it's cool that it's the idea of it's the all-inclusive rainbow, the trans flag, and it's pointing forward.
Yeah.
I think it could be better designed.
I just think it's pretty.
I think it's
good.
pretty too. That's the thing.
I like it. I just think, I don't know what, but there is something about it that I'm there's something that could be better.
I understand. Yeah. If we got another iteration, maybe it would be better. But I'm on the Cordell side. I just like it, honestly.
Yeah,
I just think it's neat.
It's just pretty.
It's good.
It was designed by Daniel
Quasar.
Daniel Quasar. Shout out.
Who uses Zer pronouns.
Oh yeah, that is what Google says. Hell yeah. But yeah, something about throat, deep throating.
So, what do y'all know about Watergate?
I don't know.
Forrest Gump was there.
Yeah, Forrest Gump saw it.
Yep.
He was the reason.
Here's the thing. Normally, if one of you two says something that is absolutely buck wild as your intro, I Google it to see if I can find something. I can't Google deep throat. Cordell.
The fun thing is, if you Google deep throat, it's actually the first result is about Watergate.
No way.
Yeah, Google deep throat with safe search off. Yeah, turn the safe search
and
off.
click images.
Click images.
And make sure you're going to pornhub.com. That should be.
Guys, it's all porn.
Oh, yeah. Watergate was actually just a big old porn ring.
Why did you do this to me?
It's how you start your day.
Why would you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding?
You talk to me about deep throat. 2 girls, 1 deep throat. Ooh.
Clear.
How's that even
How does that
possible?
work?
Yeah.
The logistics are mind-boggling.
Well, enough about that deep throat.
Yeah.
Tell us about this deep throat.
I legitimately believed Cordell that if I Googled it, it would bring up the thing he's talking about And it didn't. It was
It
all
is.
porn.
To go get off, just Google deep throat and just look at the first Wikipedia page.
For me, the third one was porn, but the first one is the Watergate.
Oh yeah, it does quickly get to porn. You're right.
But the first two are not, and that's important too.
And also the
say.
second result is
Okay, if I separate the words, it brings up Watergate.
you got to separate the words.
You
But
didn't
also-
tell me that.
I thought you would. That's 2 words. The second result is an IMDb page for a porn movie. So technically,
this is a porn movie. Okay.
Yeah, I just went to the page to see Deep Throat from 1972.
Linda, frustrated that her hugely energetic sex life leaves her unsatisfied. Okay. I'm not going to read that anymore.
Deep Throat was like a historical, actually changing thing in the porn field. So
Like 1810 Germany historical or
yeah, like I would say even more so. Like it
Wow.
revolutionized a lot of what we know about media. Cordell, I'm sad. Tell me about this Watergate bullshit.
wait. Why are you sad?
Because I trusted you. I'm on my work, not my work laptop, because that's a separate laptop for work only. But I'm on my computer, and you said you can just Google deep throat and it won't be pornography. And now I can't say, like, if Olivia just randomly asked, like, hey, did you see any porn today? I wouldn't be able to say no, Cordell. I don't think she's gonna ask that. I don't care. Because, like, porn is a healthy thing, as long as you're in control of your own consumption of it. But, like, it's just, now I can't say that.
Well, Caleb, I'll make sure not to ask you that question today, at least. Because that's my daily question for Caleb, actually, is I text him every night at 11:40 and I say, hey, buddy, did you see any porn today?
He asks me that all the time. He keeps asking me where he can find it, and I don't know how to tell him to stop. It's kind of like that one bit from you. I think you can leave now, or you should leave.
I think you
should
could
leave.
maybe be leaving if you wanted to at this moment.
If you
It's
want to
re-
go home,
it's
you
like
can, but you
I'm
don't
of the
have
mindset
to
that
leave.
maybe possibly
It's
you should
like-
find a point of egress and get out of here.
It's like
Thoughtfully.
that one bit from I think you should
Leave.
leave, where it's like the bumper sticker that says "honk if you're horny."
Yeah.
Like that's what Cordell does to me every day. He's like,
I'm horny. I'm horny.
Honk, honk, honk. Yeah, no, it's someone, I can't remember who started it, but someone found a like funny alignment chart that had like stupid, lawful, horny, chaotic. And
Yeah.
I was put in as lawful horny. And I think that's fair.
I think
That
that's
was
fair. Yeah,
I think that's
that seems accurate.
That sounds like Olivia. I think Olivia.
I think
did
Olivia
that,
was doing that, yeah.
which is very on brand for Olivia to do that. But
But anyway, I just wanted to talk about, I don't really know a ton about the Watergate scandal, but I do know the one fact that has stuck with me is that the informant in the scandal, Mark Felt, his code name he went by as the informant was Deep Throat. He chose that name for himself.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know, but why? That's the thing is I'm mystified because looking at the dates here, 1972 was when this was happening. You know what else came out in 1972?
That
Deep
porn
Throat,
movie?
That porn movie we looked at too.
Yeah.
maybe
That
that's
can't
why
be
he
a
did it.
coincidence,
That's
right?
so crazy.
No, I think
Yeah.
that's got to be why he did it.
So I am mystified of all the names you could choose because I mean, if one, I need to talk about Mothman someday, but like Indrid
Mothman.
Cold, that's a dope name.
it's a really cool name.
Yeah.
But like Deep Throat.
You do
Deep
know
Throat.
you do know what Watergate was, right?
Yes,
Cordell?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
So-
tell the listeners in case they don't.
or if they're
so-
not from America.
Yeah.
If you're not from America and you're listening, Watergate was a scandal basically where it's kind of hard to define because like it was essentially around like misuse of campaign funds and like
Yeah.
illegal raising of campaign funds that all happened within the Watergate Hotel.
Under Nixon.
Under
Yes,
Nixon.
it was
So it's-
Nixon's racket.
it was Nixon kind of popularized Nixon in a bad light. And if you want to know some deep political history, one of the people that was in charge of the Watergate scandal was one of the interns whose name is Roger Stone, and he was a big part of Trump's campaign as well, and also a big part
I
of
forgot
Reagan's
about
campaign. He was it's a whole bad thing.
Also, we
But-
should talk about the fact that the election funds was a big enough scandal for Nixon to resign.
Yeah, he
And-
resigned
and
the day
we've
before
had-
he was impeached.
We have had
he
like
was-
straight up literal insurrections now. And nothing has happened.
Yeah.
And the people are still in office who have actively colluded. Anyway, not
Yep.
political. But
I know, yeah. I
Back to
know my dad will
politics.
never listen to this show, so I'm going to talk about it. One time, me and my dad got into an argument because I saw that he had a copy of Dan Crenshaw's book. If you don't know who Dan Crenshaw is, he's an Oklahoma representative or senator. I don't remember which, because he's a total piece of shit human.
Representative, yeah. He's a U.S.
Representative from Oklahoma that was a big part of the January 6th attempted insurrection, and I would put him on the same level as Marjorie Taylor Greene in involvement.
ooh,
Yeah.
So just
did anything ever come about that trial Marjorie was on?
she was stripped of all of her like appointed things. Like the GOP stripped her of everything, and I don't think she can run again.
Okay. Because the last time I'd
which
ever
is-
heard about it was
yeah.
just on Twitter stuff. And
yeah,
just
I have
saw
not heard
Twitter
the
live
actual
stream.
outcome about her.
Yeah.
I don't think the actual outcome has come out yet. I don't think there's been an official stance, but everything is pointing towards her not being able to run again. But
I think
also
that's
the
pretty
GOP's
poggers.
on some bullshit.
But basically, when the Watergate stuff was happening, there was an informant who started leaking information to the media about this, what would become Watergate scandal.
Oh, he was on the side of the Angels? Like he was getting the information out that this was
Yes,
happening?
Yeah,
the
okay,
informant was
okay,
getting the
okay,
information
okay.
out. He was secretly leaking to the press what was going on.
Okay.
In what we would call it today's political terms, he was whistleblowing. He was
Whistleblowing, yeah.
He was
calling.
whistleblowing.
He was calling out.
And I know almost nothing beyond this, except why on earth would you choose the name Deep Throat? That's all I wanted
You're
to talk
really
about.
caught
That's
up on
all
this.
I
Like, we
wanted to
could talk-
talk about.
Maybe this segment is just better spy names.
Better or
Okay,
or
yeah,
more
let's
sexual
come up-
spy
let's-
names.
Yeah, let's come up with better
Rim job.
sexual spy names
Okay.
for Deep Throat.
Okay. Yeah.
So if someone in the government is about to leak massive information and wants a good spy name that is sexual, listen to this episode and you'll get a few suggestions.
So I think if it is a financial related one, Golden Shower.
Golden Showers.
Golden
Right.
shower, that's really good.
Right? The coffers are flowing out onto the willing masses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it's about
Come on, say it.
if it's about like if it's a
Come on.
I tried to think of what it would be about, but I just wanted an excuse to just be like, well, double penetration. That's the next one.
That's
is voting fraud.
voting,
Yeah,
fraud,
voting twice,
and our double agent,
penetration.
like a double agent thing. where
Okay,
we
hear me
say-
out. Hear me out. Different version of this game. You say these terms, like say sexual names, and we will come up with the act that inspired that whistleblower.
Gape.
So we'll take Gape. Oh, so now it's up to me and Cordell.
Anal gape. That can be the full name.
That is a backdoor insurrection
Ooh.
that secretly was going
Ooh.
on during the real one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice.
Okay.
Cordell, it's your turn.
The clap.
That feels just like an assassination attempt. Like just
Yeah,
a
that's
Yeah,
straight
that's
up
good.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah.
sniper
assassination.
assassination.
Yeah.
I got one for after yours.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Tentacle insertion.
That is
I'm not taking it easy on
That
you
is
guys.
a coastal invasion by Japan.
yeah, that's an oceanic.
Jesus Christ.
How about cake farts?
I want to know what that actually is.
It's where you sit on a cake and you fart.
You sit
That's
on a
it.
cake and
It's
fart on
Wait,
it.
legit? And
Yeah,
There's
it's like
whole
it's
porn.
a-
There's a lady who goes, you know what I like? Cake farts. And she sits on a cake
Okay.
naked and
no,
farts.
No, stop. I'm getting sick to my stomach. I might gag.
Cake.
It's
cake
gross.
Farts, cake farts is Oh, cake farts is misappropriation of funds that was supposed to go to SNAP benefits.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. A few more.
My turn. We'll get like another round through.
Around,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I have 2 left. Let me.
I also do have an article that I can send that would help. It's titled 15 Really Gross Sex Acts You Probably Didn't Know Exist. And we can just say the names.
Yeah, let's just go through that article. Let's do it.
Okay. Here's
We're going to
the
learn a
article.
lot of horrible things.
Number 1, Mexican pancake.
What is that?
Are these going to get a little too racial?
That seems to be the only one. The other ones that have a place are Cleveland
Okay,
and
then we're good.
Alabama.
We're good. Let's keep going. So, that's got to be something with like misappropriation of border funds.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's got to be border fund related for
Yeah.
sure. I think that's the best we can do.
Yeah. Okay.
Which-
Best
Should
I
I
can
just
give
keep-
you is border funds.
Do you want me to just keep reading it?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, Lion King.
Number 1, the description of this is absolutely hysterical.
Do you want me to? Oh, you got it.
I can read it. It's the description is this is when you have sex with a girl, pull out before you ejaculate, and then come into your hand and then smear it on their forehead like Simba. It's gross.
So I mean
But-
that is when someone has killed their own brother to rise to power in office.
Ooh.
Oh, I can't
Or-
handle some of
Or
these.
like an assassination attempt to help facilitate that as well.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I physically can't read that.
Oh no.
Sour apple smoothie.
I don't want to hear the descriptions. I
Yeah,
cannot.
we're not
my
gonna
mind
read the
will
descriptions.
crumble.
If you want to look them up, just know they're disgusting. That's why they're in.
I
15
am
really
actually
gross.
going to go to this article though.
Sour apple smoothie feels like, I don't know why, but it feels like, you know how there's those space weapons where it's like it just drops a like a pillar and just into the
Okay, I
ground.
cannot read this. Nope, I immediately can't. Sorry. that got really bad really fast.
Oh,
Wow.
like, okay, listeners, you may have heard I said I can't do this. I walked away. I literally had to like sit there with my head in my hand for a minute.
I could not get past the word syphilis before I had to stop reading.
It's
So the
worse.
next gross
No.
thing.
Okay,
Let's keep
when
moving.
we have a Patreon, there will be a Patreon
Oh,
video
no.
of all of us trying to get through this.
Oh, goodness.
article.
I
This
can
is
read it right
painful.
now.
What's the next term?
Wolf bagging. Wolf bagging.
I am taking off my headphones
Dibs.
because I can't.
Cordell.
So
Just don't read it, Caleb.
we're not describing the act. We're just making the political names.
We're making
for
the
them.
political.
What's the action that this informant would take?
Okay,
Wolf
yeah.
bagging. That is, they've put a bounty on wolves, and people are breeding them to collect the bounty.
Okay, I like that. This next one, alligator fuck house.
Alligator fuck house is when the South Louisiana senator has an affair.
Where they have sex. Do you know about the guy that got killed by having sex with a horse?
I don't want to
Yeah,
know.
Mr.
What?
Hand.
We can talk about that another day.
Goodness gracious.
Um,
Okay.
How about the Cleveland accordion?
The Cleveland accordion is when you get caught having a 3-way on Senate floor.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like two people, one in the middle. It's like an accordion that kind of goes in and out.
Yeah. I got you. The next one
Okay.
though is gonna knock your socks off.
Oh no.
Charizard. Just Charizard.
Charizard is just arson. What? Like,
Yeah, that's
just
arson,
burning
yeah.
government documents.
Okay, so what I said earlier about the sour apple one is this one actually. Space Dock Fondue.
I feel like I know what that is, and oh.
But yeah, no, the weapons from space that they drop the rods. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about an Alabama Hot Pocket?
So that
Cordell and I are both in Alabama currently. Like that.
Well, there's
And-
another Alabama after this one.
Oh, good. So I feel like an Alabama Hot Pocket is where a representative from Alabama
Okay.
is lying about their carbon emissions.
I like
Oh.
that. I like that. But
Smart, yeah.
then what is this one? Alabama Tuna Melt. If you want to look at what these actual
Alabama.
means, what the actual slang means, you can.
God,
Don't do it. Please love
This is
yourself.
on
don't
the
do this.
website Love Panky.
So Alabama tuna melt.
An Alabama tuna melt is when, yet again in Alabama, this time, but it's a senator,
Oh, okay.
is caught running an illegal fishing business off of the coast of Alabama.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. My other take on that was that they are using the fish to smuggle narcotics.
Ooh, that's good too. The fish is up their ass. The next one.
No, the narcotics are in the fish. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, the narcotics are in the fish and the fish is up the ass.
You don't need that last step.
What?
You don't need to put,
Number 11, Cleveland apple picking.
what is it?
Cleveland apple picking. There's another Cleveland after this too, just to be aware.
Cleveland apple picking is also a drug thing.
Yeah.
It's
It feels
it's
like it
smuggling
too.
Drugs.
Yeah, but in apples this time instead of
Mhm.
fish. And then the apples.
Yeah.
The next one is Cleveland hot waffle.
That is drugging
Cleveland.
another representative in the house.
Yeah, and it has to be in Cleveland though.
Yeah.
Eskimo trebuchet. Is Eskimo still okay? I forget.
I'm not sure it's PC.
I'm not sure it's PC, but
Then we
it's
can
what
cut
it's
this
called.
if it's just better. to
I
cut
mean,
this.
we're acknowledging that it's not. This is probably one of the nastiest websites. No,
Yeah,
that's not even
true.
true.
It's
One of the
not.
nastiest
No,
websites we could
okay.
discuss on air.
That term is for when an Alaskan senator has illegal dealings with the Russian government.
Yeah,
Ooh, okay.
that's good. That's good.
How about munging? Munging.
That-
Munging.
You know what? That is just the act of illegally smuggling mung beans into the country.
I think I concur.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And then the last one, the flying camel.
Oh, that is just Desert Storm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
that's
Desert
what I was
Storm. It's
thinking
just
too.
illegally starting a war in Iraq like George Bush.
Get political, baby. Woo! They're all war criminals.
When have I not been political, Cordell?
Never. You have always been wildly political. So yeah, that is the direction I did not expect my subject to go into.
Hey,
but
that's
I loved
fine.
it. That's
Well, we'll just jump into mine then. As
Yeah.
Caleb and Cordell can see, there are two things I need them to do. So today, we're just talking about some healing crystals a little bit. So first off, there's a picture that has the spoiler tag. Go ahead
Yeah.
and open that. Don't read what the stone is. Just tell me which stone you get a pull towards. Like which one looks the cutest to you, which one you like.
There are a couple that I like.
What was the first one that just kind of got you?
I mean, the opal was kind of the first one that pulled me in,
Fair.
but I like the moo kite and the
Ooh.
Larimar.
Okay.
The text is very
Both
small.
very that is very fine. Perfect because you don't read what they're for.
Okay.
But Caleb, which one were you drawn to?
I'm very much digging. There are a few that kind of capture what I'm looking at. Moldavite. I kind of like that, like jagged green.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm also very much digging the Labradorite. Those are the two that kind of captured my attention.
Okay. Well, perfect. Yeah. I'm kind of already unfair. I had one of my shift leads specifically give me. I'm wearing rose quartz around my neck, and
Like
one
from
of my
Steven
Universe.
Universe.
Steven Universe.
Exactly. Which that's all of these. We could have just talked about Steven Universe because that's pretty gay.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. Also,
I'll just make that
Sammi,
my next topic because I love Steven Universe. But yeah. So I unfairly, one of my shift leads made me a rose quartz pendant and said that I have rose quartz energy. So I really like rose quartz now because of that, and rose quartz is really pretty. Okay, but now we're on to the second thing. I found a BuzzFeed quiz that I would like you two beautiful human beings to take. It's what crystal is right for you. The title exactly is These 12 Questions Will Reveal the Crystal That Calls to You.
Okay.
So,
Caleb, are you going through it with me?
Yeah, I'm going through it with you. So the first question is first, how do you feel in this present moment? And the options are anxious, irritable, stuck, inspired, relaxed, and hopeful. I'm clicking anxious only because I'm always anxious.
Okay. I'm gonna click stuck because that's just kind of where I am career-wise.
Okay.
And then the next one is, what are you currently manifesting? Love, money, happiness, healing, personal growth and enlightenment, confidence.
And this can be like, for me, I haven't honestly been actively like what they're saying manifesting. I'm assuming like actively doing the manifesting techniques,
which I think is a load of crock, but this is a fun time.
So I just did one, I guess, that I was like, I hope I'm trying to manifest, if that makes sense.
I'm picking money because I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
I'm picking healing.
I did love.
Which angel number do you see most?
Now, what is this nonsense?
222-333-444.
This one, there was one specific that I know I have seen a lot.
What is an angel number?
I think it's like lucky numbers. Read them out while I explain, while I look them up.
222-333-444-555-777-888.
I'm gonna warn you right now that I very strongly think crystals and astrology and stuff are just ludicrous, but I'm gonna have fun here. But my ludicrousness, my opinion will come out. So there you go. What are angel numbers? I kind of
just like the crystals. So the first thing Google says is that they're just a series of repeating digits. So 111, 222, 333. Those are just considered angel numbers.
Is it just like angels are watching out for you, kind of like 666, or is the number the devil, kind of whatever?
I think there's got to be some theory, some of that in it.
Okay. If you are suddenly noticing the same series of numbers in different places, some people think that it is a divine message. And if it's like repeating numbers, so they're called angel numbers. There was one specifically for me. I did 777 because I have noticed at Starbucks, not saying this is of any importance, but I've noticed that a lot of times I've had random people, their price come out to $7.77. So I've noticed that number out in public multiple times. I didn't put any significance to it. And this is all just because it's interesting to me, not because I necessarily believe it, to be fair.
And also, to be fair, if you do, my opinion on it literally doesn't matter. I think it's stupid, but you do whatever you want.
It's just vibes.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be a crystal mommy just in the case of having crystals around my house because they're pretty.
They're pretty. I fully understand liking the rocks.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have a lot of rose quartz because those like, especially like they have like towers of them that are just very pretty.
So Caleb, I don't see any of these numbers out very much, except for the 888 in like phone numbers.
I see 555 quite a bit.
Okay, I'll do 888.
Okay.
This one is, which affirmation resonates with you the most? I don't catch, I attract. My past is not a reflection of my future. I'm allowed to take up space. I let go of all that no longer serves me. I am love. I am abundant, and I have control over my thoughts and emotions.
I mean, I suppose I'm allowed to take up space.
I think my past is not a reflection of my future. Is probably what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, I went with the I am love. I am abundant.
Yeah. The next question is, what brings you the most joy? Meditation, being creative, time with loved ones, being in nature, self-care, helping others.
Unfairly, I did time with loved ones because that's what this podcast is right now.
Aw. I'm doing time with loved ones because I love hanging out with my people.
Yeah, true.
I'm doing helping others because. What do you want most out of life? True love, fortune and fame, connection to a higher power, strong personal relationships, passion, or security?
Oh,
I don't even know, man.
I mean, I'm doing the connection to a higher power.
fair.
You know, that old classic walk of faith, right?
Yeah, yeah. I did passion. Ooh. I was more also just thinking passion of. I'm a very passionate.
Well, yeah,
person
just
in
having
general.
zeal for
Yeah.
life. I hear you.
I'm
But also sexy.
I'm doing security
Sexy
just because I have no idea.
Okay.
What do you struggle with the most? Self-confidence, mental health, patience, motivation, being present, or relaxation? Relaxation. I've never relaxed a day in my life. Are you kidding me?
Motivation's my big one right now.
Mine was mental health.
Which emotion do you wish you felt more often? Passion, safety, calmness, prosperity, open-mindedness, love. I'm going to do open-mindedness. Also, prosperity is not an emotion, and none of these are emotions.
Yeah.
These
Safety
are more
is not
like
an emotion.
no, like, and also it's a BuzzFeed quiz, so don't put a ton of stock. But like, these
Yeah.
are not emotions.
Which
Yeah.
emotion are you ready to let go of? Unworthiness, stress, negativity, insecurity, fear, or regret?
These are at least actually emotions this time, though.
Yeah.
Kinda.
This next one is just pictures, so I feel like we can't.
Well,
really
what are you letting go of?
Oh, insecurity, I guess.
That's fair. Fear.
Oh, fear. This next one's just
which
pretty
crystal?
pictures.
Oh, dang, they're all so pretty.
I went with the it's like a purpley, jaggedy, non-uniform one.
Yeah, there's that one draws me, and then there's like this tiered looking white kind of salty crystal. But whenever I'm actually touching rocks, I like the smooth one, so I'm going with the purpley one that's smooth.
Ooh, okay.
What do you struggle with specifically on an everyday basis? Time management and or organization. I'm critical of others. My creativity is blocked. I can't say no to people or opportunities. I self-medicate. Concentration.
I self-medicate.
Time management.
I don't know. I can't say no, I guess. And finally, what words are you secretly longing to hear? I'm so proud of you. You are not hard to love. You are stronger than you think. Things do get better. You are on the right path, and what you want is attainable.
The last one. What I want is attainable.
Hey, what you want is obtainable, Cordell.
You are on the right path, is mine.
Okay, I got my stone.
Okay, who
I got
wants to
my
go
stone.
first? Because I have mine too.
Caleb, real quick, did you get the one that's the picture you clicked on?
Yes.
Sammy, did you get the one that's the picture
I
you
did
clicked on?
not.
Okay, then I was like, if that's all this is, anyway.
No. Okay, I guess I'll go first. So I got, unsurprisingly, rose quartz. You may be prone to being a little closed off or just unlucky when it comes to love. So you'd feel more healed by rose quartz. Yeah, it's known for attracting love between either friends or romantic loves. It will aid you in trusting others, letting your guard down, and filling the void that makes you feel as if you are hard to love. You, my darling, most certainly are not. It was kind of cute.
Got amethyst.
You got amethyst?
Yeah.
Sweet. Tell us about it.
As you are someone who absorbs the emotions of others easily, so protect your own energy. You should be carrying amethyst with you at all times. Amethyst is the protector against all negative energies and is said to enhance calmness and vividness of dreams. So having it with you is a great way to set a boundary in this realm so you can explore others. This is telling me to carry amethyst and do shrooms, right? Like that's all
Yeah,
I'm saying about
I think
exploring
so.
other realms.
This is straight up saying this rock will literally save your life. Carry it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much I believe that.
And so mine, I got lapis lazuli,
Ooh.
who is one of my favorite Steven Universe characters, so rock on. You are someone who tends to second guess yourself and shy away from the spotlight. Lapis lazuli will help with that. Lapis lazuli aids in confidence, authenticity, and brings you the courage to speak your truth and advocate for yourself. Being true to who you are is one of the biggest ways one can raise their vibrations, and lapis lazuli will give you that last little push that you need.
How many podcasts do you have?
3?
Yeah.
I do live theater.
Yeah.
I don't think
That was yeah.
And to be fair, the whole point of these is that they are general so that they'll work with whoever gets them. But I do struggle with confidence outside of the venues where I'm intentionally being confident. So I will give it that. I mean, like, if it is not a thing where I've chosen to be in the spotlight, I'd rather be on the side.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay.
So
Well,
to give the
turns out
crystal
everything is
people at
real.
BuzzFeed credit, yeah.
All of the crystal stuff is real just because we connected.
Caleb, you will die if you do not carry
You're gonna do shrooms tomorrow.
with
I
amethyst.
wish.
We
I wish.
do have to do an
gosh.
episode of this where we're on shrooms. Other than Cordell.
At least
'cause
two
I don't
of us.
want to make Cordell do it.
I feel like that's a little bit too far for Cordell.
It's too much for Cordell.
I tried to have a response. I was just daunted. You could maybe get me to do a pot brownie and record.
I'm down for that.
I could maybe be convinced for that.
Maybe.
But be ready for me to maybe not like it because do you want to know what I'm like as a human being? You know what? Want to know what'll really tell you what I'm like?
Yeah.
I don't like being inebriated because I can literally feel my brain and body working slower than they normally do, and it upsets me.
Interesting. Okay.
Like anytime I have drank, I have felt my brain not being as quick as normal, and I felt my body not being fully under my control, and I hate the feeling.
I think to me, I feel my brain not being as fast and I like it
Mm-hmm.
because of my anxiety. My brain is moving very fast all the time.
My anxiety mixed with ADHD means I'm constantly thinking and constantly overthinking. So whenever I'm inebriated, I am not. And
Mhm.
it helps a lot.
I suppose I have a more comfortable relationship with my overthinking. Like, I'm thinking all the time and I'm always going, but I really enjoy that fact and I really enjoy that state. And so anything that keeps me from fully being like present with myself, I don't like.
That's
So
very
to me,
fair.
it just depends on what I'm overthinking on.
Mm.
Because like Cordell has commented on this about me in the past, is that like I am very comfortable in spaces of overthinking about grand big topics.
Yeah.
Like I will overthink about what is the actual point of the universe very fast, but the idea of thinking about conflict makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
Well, I
truly
hate
fair.
conflict too, so.
Yeah. Yeah. My overthinking very quickly devolves into self-hatred most of the time. So if I can stop that by getting high, that helps a lot. Or at least slow down the
like-
process.
It's like, yeah.
Not to like choke slam you into a therapy couch, but have you considered the way to get past that is to learn to love yourself? Obviously you
tried.
have. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, it's yeah. I have needed to go to therapy for a while, and I guess just to shit on my last therapist, he straight up moved to Colorado without telling me. So that was my last experience, and now I'm just too broke to even have a therapist. So.
Yeah. And it's
yeah.
You go.
Like my experience and what helped me get to a point where I was like, and this also has to do with why I think I'm good at overthinking the big things, is that I went from like prior to doing psychedelics being like, I am so small and worthless and like the universe is so big, to then post-stream saying, I am so small and worthless and the universe is so big. Like, that's it. It's just like a tone shift.
Shrooms kind of did help a lot too, but it was never enough, I guess. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I think my non-drug related path to loving myself more was like coming to the realization, because I grew up with a lot of, and I don't quite know where they come from, probably from a lot of places, but like growing up feeling like I had to be of use to be worthy kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm not, like I can't have my own problems, I can't struggle, I have to be like perfect and strong. You know, the surface pressure song from Encanto.
Yeah.
And over time, I just started realizing that the lesson there was just, I thought that's just not true. And it was super weird and uncomfortable. But like, I slowly got to the point where I was like, I don't have to work to be valuable. And I don't have to like help everybody to be valuable. I should just do it because it's the right thing to do. And it's the thing I'm able to do for them. Like by removing my goodness from my value, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I do not have to be actively doing good at every moment to be valuable and worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good. So if then I recognize that value and worthiness, I can help people better because I'm not doing it to hide from myself. I guess was how I slowly figured that out.
Yeah. I like that. I don't know if I can get there.
I just love you and want you to be, I want you to love you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I love you too, Cordell. I love you too, Caleb.
I love you too, Caleb.
I love you. I love you, Sammy, and I love you, Cordell. I zoned out thinking about when I was on shrooms. I was thinking about that.
There was a moment whenever we were saying I love yous to each other, and I was like, this is going to turn into that. Good night, Marcia. Good night, Brad. Good night, Janet. Good night, Marcia. Good night, Brad.
Yeah. Just forever and ever.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Forever
that was
and
last
ever.
episode.
So, Sammy, what did the other crystals mean? The ones that you had us pick from a little sheet.
They all have little stuff underneath. But so remind me which ones you guys picked specifically. I know Labradorite was one of them.
Yeah, I thought about Labradorite.
That one says Cosmic Destiny, Divination, and Mystic.
What does that even mean?
Hell yeah.
What does it even
Something
mean?
Cool.
I like the Larimar.
Yeah, which is sincerity. No, that's the wrong word. Serenity. That's not sincerity. Wisdom and new ideas. The Moldavite I think was another one, right?
That was the other one that I was kind of vibing with.
Spiritual transforming, healing, and meditation.
What about the opal?
The opal is purifying, energy, hope. And on this one, the rose quartz says unconditional love, compassion, joy, positive energy. And we can't forget about sandalwood.
That's a rock?
Wood.
That's purity and strength. It's on this list. Petrified wood is also on here. So I guess that one's deep healing, self-love, and history.
What do you think is the motivation behind crystals? Like, is the idea that like I can put this good thing into my life by like believing this thing gives me that thing? Like, what is the concept that makes people think that like these rocks are magic?
The same thing, the same innate human desire that makes Christians believe that God can do stuff.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
And
what I'm about
not to be just like blunt about it, but it's the same idea that it's just like there's a divine creator that controls everything and it's all out of my control. It's kind of like these crystals can change my life. This floating invisible thing in the sky will change my life. It's the same idea. It
makes what I was about to say, it being a placebo effect, probably seem very rude to Christians. But
I mean, I was just being rude to crystal people, so yeah, hey, tit for tat there.
Like, yeah.
Titty tats.
Titty tats.
Titty tats.
But
Man,
for real, yeah.
It's going to be hard to switch to my topic.
I think, if anything, it really is because crystals are natural forming.
And
they're really pretty.
To Earth.
They're really pretty. Everybody likes to look at crystals one reason or another. So if they're like, if I could put this thing around my neck, and I don't even believe it, but if I can put this thing around my neck and it makes my life, it fills my life with a little bit of love, a little bit more love since it's the rose quartz. And it's like, okay, sure.
And I suppose it's like essential oils to a degree of like, this thing makes me feel this thing because I chose to give it this meaning.
Exactly.
So as long as you're not like using crystals to like cure cancer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There will
just like as long as you're not trying to like pray away cancer with no treatment, it doesn't matter.
I'm not going to do it now, but inevitably there will be an episode where I go on an essential oils rant.
Oh, I'm ready.
I need you guys to know that ahead of time. Because me and essential oils have a history and it's not good.
Caleb, just take lavender. It'll cure your diabetes.
I will know. I've heard that exact sentence hurled at me.
Okay. That's too much. Why? Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, that just makes me angry.
Because too much of a good thing gets people killed.
Yeah, we'll talk.
And I also just have like a lot of negative association.
Yeah.
With essential oils.
That's the interesting thing is I do too, but I guess not with crystals. Because I haven't had a lot of...
Oh, I was just going to say, I have, now that I think about it, a fair little bit of negative association with crystals, which is probably my standoffishness in this subject. I've known too many people who were just absolute idiots and loved crystals. Like...
I mean,
like beyond being like, I really like what this gives me. Like, I like the energy I'm choosing to put into my life. But people are like, yeah, put this crystal in your shoe.
Speaking of things with negative associations and history.
Segue.
It's the mullet.
I love the mullet.
Why I'm bringing this up during Pride Month. It has become like a pretty, like, I think the Venn diagram of people who have a mullet and non-binary people that I know of right now is almost a circle.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason I was thinking about it. Just for a point right off the bat, because this isn't a quiz. I'm not doing another game show this week, but just for little points, who wants to guess where the first description of a mullet comes from?
The Bible.
The Bible's a good guess.
Ancient Rome.
The Epic of
Very good
Gilgamesh.
guess. No, not quite the Epic of Gilgamesh. It comes from the Iliad. So
Oh.
ancient Rome is
Oh.
actually
Close.
very close. So basically, Homer in the Iliad described like this group of warriors coming at them with short hair on top but long waves in the back.
Mullet warriors from Greece.
Business up
Yes,
front.
mullet warriors from they were from Africa, and
Oh.
so like they was kind of like warring tribe kind of idea. But look, the mullet's been around since ancient Greece, and it's literally just because they want the long hair as the status symbol, but they don't want the hair to get in their eyes for purposes of fighting and hunting. That's it. Which, like, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Of course, the mullet was, like, popularized as the mullet in the 90s, but for another
Business
bonus
up
point,
front.
which founding father referred to this haircut as a skullet? And that is where we get the term mullet.
George
John
Bush.
Hancock.
No, I was kidding about George Bush.
John Hancock.
Taft.
I wouldn't call it that.
Sammy, your
this was the-
U.S. history is leaving something to be desired here. I love it.
It was actually Benjamin Franklin wrote about the skullet as a way that Frenchmen could charm the women of France, so that way they could have them instead of him just laying all that puss down. But yeah, he just
So the Frenchmen were
Describe
rocking
this.
mullets for a long time.
and if you look at pictures of Benjamin Franklin,
He was rocking the mullet. a lot.
Benjamin Franklin, when he had more hair on top of his head, was rocking a mullet.
Can I just pop in with a very quick statement on mullets?
Absolutely.
I love them unironically and am obsessed with anyone who decides to have their hair in a mullet earned my respect the moment they started growing it out. Like I
can't.
I love mullets because I want to hear your stuff, but like for me, the mullet is the pinnacle of I like it and I don't care what you think.
I think that is part of my problem with it, is because in my association, growing up in Central Arkansas, the people that had the mullet were the same people that were voting for Trump. And so it was like, I do what I want and I don't care what you think about it, okay?
Okay, well, West Virginia, so same.
Fair.
But
Yes, yeah. So, but basically, the mullet has been found in almost every culture. To some point, there has been a mullet. Like, there has been the idea of short hair on top, long hair in the back. Native Americans had mullets. A lot of French people had mullets. Obviously, the ancient Greeks and ancient African tribes, a lot of them had mullets. However, the first person to like really wear a mullet and be famous for their mullet,
Jesus Christ.
David Bowie.
Oh.
So very close with the
Very,
Jesus
very
Christ
close.
guess. Very
both
close.
were from
Yes.
space.
Yes, David.
Whoa!
And here goes Cordell getting dangerously close to actually rediscovering Mormonism.
Listen, I'm going to own a
Oh.
planet, but I'm also going to make you pay to be a part of the church. So I'm more Scientology.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I want to be
Anyway.
rich.
I will do a deep dive into Mormonism as a whole episode, so you guys better be prepared for that.
Is that when Cordell's going to fight the entirety of the Latter-day Saints?
Yes, this is what will cause Cordell to fight the entirety of the Latter-day Saints. So this is just some fun stuff. Ziggy Stardust was one of David Bowie's many personas. If you don't know, David Bowie was one of the first artists to have like several personas, and that's why his music is so different era to era, is because it was not David Bowie writing The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. It was Ziggy Stardust writing that. It was the White Knight writing station, or the White Duke writing Station to Station. There are all these different personas.
Mm-hmm.
Fursonas.
Yes,
Yeah.
all these different personas. Now, David Bowie first rocked this cut back in 1972. the same year of his coming out press conference where David Bowie came out as bisexual. Another reason that I brought this up during Pride, during which he declared, David Bowie declared him and Lou Reed. So this is a quote from David Bowie about himself and Lou Reed that says, any society that allows people like Lou and me to become rampant is pretty well lost. We're both pretty mixed up, paranoid people, absolute walking messes. If we're the spearhead of anything, we're not necessarily the spearhead of anything good.
Oh, wow.
All that to say, David Bowie says the mullet is bad, so Cordell, you're wrong, okay?
Okay, but there's a far deeper implication to David Bowie's statement that we don't have time to unpack here.
Well, he's basically talking about, at the time of the 1960s, 1970s, there was the neo-bohemia movement, which is like the idea of like everything is permissible, that kind of
La vie
idea.
bohème, yeah.
La vie bohème, live your life the way you want to. And while that has some very good ideas built in, anything taken to extremes is bad. So that's the idea. So the idea of, live your life the way you want to, good idea. Taken to an extent that is far past what you want, taken to extremes, not a great sentiment.
Yeah.
Then let me amend my earlier mullet-related statement.
Mm-hmm.
The mullet I love as the pinnacle of, for hairstyle choices, I do what I want and I don't care what you think.
Yes. Now, the last mullet fact that I have is that in 2010, Iran banned the haircut completely. So in Iran, you cannot have a mullet because it is seen as a sign of cultural rebellion. Yeah, you can't have a mullet in Iran. Like, if you are an Iranian citizen. I'm sure if you're American, if you're American, you're going to Iran, there's some other issues we need to talk about, like the fact that it's very dangerous for you. But yeah. So the mullet has this like weird history of being tied to the idea of like,
Rebellion.
First, it was about rebellion.
Yeah.
It was about hunting. It was about fighting. The mullet has always been this kind of, frankly, punk rocker haircut.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big fan of the punk rock.
Same.
It is one of my favorite genres of music. However, the mullet is the worst part of it. Well, until the 80s and 90s and 2000s, where a lot of punk rock artists were, I don't know, okay. I'm going to do a segment over this, but I'm going to drop this idea now. Punk rock went from being cool people doing cool things and people that didn't know how to play instruments playing music for the first time and just expressing how they felt at the Dead Kennedys, to then you had it become more popular with The Clash. And then in the 2000s, it became very popular and you had like Green Day. And then that arose to the like kind of like post-punk era of the 2000s, where you had like pop punk and you had the rise of Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco. And those bands are all riddled with very bad sexual assault charges.
Yeah.
So. Okay, but look at any band in history. You're saying that your
no,
punk rock
I'm
glory
not,
days back then weren't riddled with awfulness.
No, they were. I'm just saying it became more prevalent at that point. The problems were there the whole time.
It became more known.
Yes.
Yeah.
The problems have been there the whole time.
Don't come for my formative bands, man.
Back to the mullet real quick though.
Yeah.
Is what David Bowie rocks in the Labyrinth, is that considered a mullet?
100%.
Okay.
Yes. That is considered a mullet because it is shorter.
That's what
up
I was
on top
thinking.
and up front and longer in the back.
Caleb, would you say that he rocks it so well? If you feather the front, a mullet gets a lot more palatable.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Big true.
But Caleb, would you say that the mullet is integral to hair metal? Because you take the mullet long and you get hair metal.
One of the most influential hair metal bands of all time would 100% be Bon Jovi. like they kind of were the main hair metal band. Looking at a picture of them at the height, like at their prime, I would definitely say it's essential. I would say it's part of it.
And then you got this album cover for Motley Crue, where they all look like, especially bottom left boyo, looks like he's dead already.
Yeah, Motley Crue is interesting. I think that's another thing that I don't understand, and this also is the history of the mullet, is that you had these hair metal bands in the 80s, especially Motley Crue was one of the big ones that right-wing people currently tend to flock to and be like,
yeah.
I was about to say something about that.
Yeah. Do they know that, like, okay, so for example, like, We're Not Gonna Take It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They realized that was an anti-fascist anthem written by people that were open about how they were exploring gender ideas. Like Motley Crue wore feminine clothes and what was seen as feminine clothes and makeup on stage to challenge the idea that the rocker had to be a manly man.
I mean, also, the same people will look at like Rage Against the Machine and be like, yo, when did Rage Against the Machine get political?
Literally their first track ever. Like, I'm sorry, Bomb Track is 100% political. Everything Rage Against the Machine is political.
What machine did you think they were raging against?
Raging against.
My favorite one, though, is all of the like pro army or whatever playing Fortunate Son.
Yeah.
That's just like, okay.
It's like, cool. There is this fascinating trend, and I think we've kind of seen it happen with the mullet, where, and real talk, this happens constantly with the right, but like, you have a thing that is a symbol in its own right that stands for something cool. Sometimes it's rebellion. Sometimes it's just another group's concept and idea that is very meaningful and has a legitimate purpose it fulfills for them. And then people on the right will take it and overuse it and overdo it and and in doing so, try to strip it of the meaning that it originally carried. I mean, the word woke.
The word woke. While you were even saying that, I was thinking of Pepe the Frog.
Yep.
He was just a comic character.
Yeah. Mullets started out as all this rebellious stuff, and now you have like people who are straight up fascists rocking mullets and being like, 2024.
I think one element that I will do a segment on eventually, but yet dropping it here. Country music.
Yep.
100%. The origin of country music is 100% anti-fascist.
And literally, country music did a 180 pre 9/11 to post 9/11.
Yeah.
The year 2001 was when it entirely shifted into
what in 2001 would have made such a big shift? I don't remember anything really happening.
I would think that like people were really scared about the new millennium, and it didn't hit them until a year later. That's probably
maybe George Bush. I feel like he was responsible for something that
Donnie Darko came out.
That's it. It's Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko.
There it is.
Donnie Darko. Great movie, by the way.
So, Cordell, what did we learn today?
I feel like we learned an awful lot about ourselves. Like there were like 3 different mini lessons. So I'm gonna pull them out. Well, we didn't learn anything with mine. We were just talking about Deep Throat. With crystals, we learned that like too much of anything is bad, and also let people like what they like. It ain't hurting you. And then with mullets, we learned the right ruins everything.
It really do.
Oh no! Come on, right?
I saw a tweet, and I love it. And they were like, "Can someone please tell me how the Republican Party actually intends to help anybody?" Like, I legitimately want an answer. What policy or goal do you have that actually enriches the lives of people?
That's a really good question because I can't even think of one.
Can't think of it. It's all don'ts, baby. Anyway, so the lesson we learned here is try your best to be understanding and open-minded.
Thank you to the one and only the Reverend Horton Heat for letting us use their song Psycho Billy Freak Out as our opening and closing music. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Awkward from 1997, and I will tweet political hot takes occasionally, and I will tweet about Kanye West occasionally. Those tweets never find success, and it's probably for the better.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so at Cordelicious. I almost never tweet, but I will tweet more if I have actual people listening. I just don't share my thoughts very often unless I feel like there's a reason to.
Oh, Cordell and I do tweet about Magic the Gathering.
A lot. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
And that's
a good
okay.
bit, yeah.
My Twitter is Mother Moth, but the O's are X's. It kind of got that Cause vibe, if you know who Cause is. I rarely tweet as well, but if you wanna, I'm kind of funny. Also, you can follow our show Twitter, the Junk House Twitter, at Junk House, but the O in house is a 0 because somebody already took Junk House. Also, you can email us if you got any questions. We do read those sometimes. We will read those sometimes. And that's at junkhousemailbox@gmail.com. I think we actually have a review to read this time, though.
Yes, we do. Do you want me to pull that out?
Yeah, if you would mind doing that. We got a review from one of my friends, so I'm making Cordell. I'm making Caleb read it.
All right, so from Creative Waste, thank you very much for writing this review. It's so funny. It's like listening to your friends just talk about the most random things, and I absolutely love that we all have the same sense of humor. So interesting to hear how the conversation travels throughout each episode. 100% right,
good.
because when we start an episode, I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah,
Not even
I
a little
never
bit.
know.
And I will say, too, last episode I've talked about 100 gex, and I just thought of it as I was sitting here. This show is for people who already like this sort of thing.
Yeah, for real. We
Yeah,
are
we
the
very
100
much
gex
are,
of,
yeah.
of podcasting.
We're the 100 gex of podcasting.
We're the 100
Hyperpod.
gex of- yeah,
Hyperpod.
we're a Hyperpod.
I like that.
It's all of us talking at the same time for an hour straight.
Yeah.
So thank you to Creative Waste.
Shout
I don't
out.
know your actual name, but you must be a good human if you're listening to this podcast. That's the rule.
He's gonna be on at some point because I'm gonna talk about cosplay and I want to have him on. So
Yes.
he'll actually be on. I won't say his name just yet in case he doesn't want that. But Creative Waste. Also on TikTok. Check out Creative Waste on TikTok.
Yeah. If you have people you want to be on the pod, just let us know. We'll figure it
We'll
out.
try it.
But as we say every single week,
Are we out of Kool-Aid? I can't find the Kool-Aid.
I told you to go to the store.
You're right. Okay. Can you?
do I need to go to the store?
No,
I
no.
just need to
No,
go-
Sammy's
Pass-
going to the store. That's
Pass me
okay.
the keys. It's okay. I'll be back.
Okay, wait.
Okay,
my
fine.
keys
we
are
all
your.
share one car.
My
we
keys.
all share one
well,
car.
no.
in this house.
My keys are right beside you.
I
Cordell,
double
right there.
parked you. I gotta get my
okay.
keys to go let you out.
So why don't
Can I
why
just
don't
borrow
we
your
just let
car?
Sammy take your car?
Yeah.
but
Is
you'll
that okay?
adjust the seat, and when you adjust the seat, it really just I can't readjust
Okay.
it. I can't find my sweet spot.
gosh.
Well,
This
okay,
is
just get out of the way, and I'll
ridiculous.
go get Kool-Aid.
We
for
don't
us
even
all.
need Kool-Aid right now.